On this episode of Unknown to Known, you'll hear from two guests. We'll have clips from Alison Camerata's interview. She talks about what it's like to be on new media and this freedom she feels. You'll also hear from Amanda Brooke, who shares her thoughts on confidence. Plus, I have an announcement that I can't believe I get to make. Let's go.
On cam, ready in 3, 2, 1.
I have a huge announcement and a big update to share with you. I am now officially an award-winning social media creative. It was my first Realize award ceremony that I attended, and I honestly did not think I would walk away with an award. I showed up mainly because I thought, well, it'll be a good opportunity to meet more people who create content so that at 43, I don't feel so alone in this journey. But guys, I got there and everyone looked so great. I let my introverted insecurities start taking over. So I almost didn't stay for the award ceremony because I thought, well, I really am not up for talking to people and meeting people, even though that was my intention. I needed a wingman, guys. I'm that type of person. I just need someone to be with me, and I didn't have anybody. So I didn't want to go in. I went in for a little bit, shot some content, and then I sat in my car for 30 minutes. I then decided, you know what? I should go in there, go into this Really Awards ceremony at the Plaza Theater in Atlanta. Go in, I'm here, I'm dressed up, and I should just sit in the back and take videos and pictures of everyone who wins and share it on social media so that they have a different angle. You know, not everyone goes to these events and has content. And since my whole belief is that you should be recording content at all times if you're a thought leader or an expert that's looking for press, I figured I could at least showcase that I'm supportive and looking to help more people on social media by being there and taking photos and sharing. So I was doing that. And then the nomination for my category comes up. And so I figured, okay, I'll record a video so I could hear, who wins and then share something on social media about how I lost. I was like, I'm losing. Okay. And then they called my name. So in this video that I'm showing, you see you can even hear me throw my phone to someone else. Here, listen.
Don't get it for now. Afraid. Believe those things. And waiting for us to you. Maybe not we have the what?
As I walked up on stage, I was so nervous. I thought I was going to trip going up the steps. I haven't won anything since I was competing in pageants in my 20s. And I mean, like early 20s, because you have to stop at 24 in the Miss America Association. And I thought it would just, kick in, I'd be all good. Wow. But winning something, it was overwhelming. It felt like a dream. And I'm on stage and I'm looking out and I couldn't really see anybody. But I heard people screaming my name and cheering me on. And it just felt so overwhelming. I'm getting emotional here, but when I left my career in January of 2024 and said, you know what? I don't think I want to look for another job. I just don't see any jobs that are going to really help me attain all I want to attain in my life and also include all the skills that I really have to offer. And, I used 2024 to still put my name in the ring and try for jobs. And I took on projects and clients, but it was a deciding year. It was the year I decided to say, I need to do something different. And after 20 years in television news, I felt this draw to new media, to social media, to podcasting and YouTube. And I thought, maybe that's just where I'm supposed to be right now. But when you crank out social media reels every single day and you really see no growth, you start to think, well, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. You feel the burnout. And I felt that the week before this awards. I felt that like I'm cranking out YouTube content, my podcast, I'm sharing on social media, I'm now investing in TikTok. And what is it all for? I'm trying to help people show up on camera and I want to inspire them, but this is a really hard road. You know, I tell everyone that you need a long form body of work to break down for social media if you're an expert, or a position that you take that is always woven through your content so that it's easy. I find myself focusing on too many platforms lately, so I have been pulling back. I repurpose everything from my Substack to LinkedIn. I don't rewrite it anymore. I now have YouTube clips cut by Opus. I don't edit them anymore from my podcast and the YouTube channel, and I have it auto send to my platform so I don't have to think about it. Now, I am creating the descriptions and the headlines and the SEO, but at least I've started to find ways where it's not so much work. This podcast is all about inspiring you to show up. This boot camp is meant to help you navigate this new media space as an expert. If you have a book or a newsletter or long form content, I'm helping you think like a producer so that you can crank out content and it not feel as overwhelming as I have done to myself.
Yes.
I'm a machine, okay, guys? And sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. But if you have a book and you really want to start selling it online, you need to break down your book concepts into short form videos to build that audience, right? Get that book sold. And this course is helping people start to think about that process. And then I explain why it can help you with the press. So that's the boot camp. Right now, you can download a free PDF to an online audit that will help you see how the press might see you if they were to look you up online. So visit oncamready.com, download that PDF when you sign up for the wait list of my boot camp. That's all in my description. But I really wanted to share this Really Award because it means so much to me. And I know it's not an Emmy. And for my whole life, I had, I think, 4 or 5 Emmy nominations and never won. But this means more than I think any of those ever would have meant to me. Now, do I wish I won one of the news Emmys? Of course. I mean, I vote on them every year. But I think the direction my life is taking me, that's probably not in the cards anymore. But while I was at the Reallys, I just kept thinking, so many of us are using social media to market ourselves and our brands. And yes, it's free, but you do still need to have your own content. So you really want to think about that long form content I keep talking about, because marketing, yeah, social media is free, but you also want to think about what people are going to come back to. So that's why I have this course, so I can start offering something to people that will help them further their journey and at the same time potentially help me make money, because I am doing all this and I'm not working as a result. I'm focusing on helping more people online, and I haven't been taking clients since July. Since then, unless you were already a client, I'm not taking new ones at this time. It's going to be an application process moving forward as well, but it's because I just haven't had the time. I'm so busy with YouTube. So if you love this content and you're inspired, I hope you subscribe to this podcast and check out the YouTube channel. Coming up on Unknown to Known, we'll hear from Amanda Brooke. She'll discuss how redefining your purpose and becoming known is important if you really want to be seen as an expert and have life altering opportunities. Here's a clip.
Confidence is a decision. And I know that's easier said than done. But honestly, it doesn't matter what niche you're in. If you're in the health and fitness niche or the beauty niche, doesn't matter what kind of content you are focused on. The confidence and the mindset to show up and to deliver and create content around what it is your focus is, it comes in the doing. Like, it is a decision. It's not like if you just keep waiting around for confidence to come knock on your door and show up one day and all of a sudden you have it, you're always going to be waiting. You're never actually going to create and start taking the steps to make that content.
Thank you, Amanda. And I look forward to also hearing your green room pep talk. Also coming up, we hear from Allison Camerata. I worked with her at Fox News Channel, and then we crossed paths again at CNN, and now I work with her on the podcast YouTube show Sanity. I started the conversation with Fox because that's where our roots are, but she has a memoir out that is incredibly eye-opening. Her childhood is just inspiring. What she experienced as a child really does define who she is now. She's resilient. And if you don't already know her story, check her out. Here's a clip from Allison Camerata.
So I really like what I love about new media is that you can really pull back the mask. Not that I ever felt that I was terribly masked at Fox or CNN. I feel like viewers really did get to know who I was, but now I can say whatever I want to say on Sanity because I'm not representing some other larger corporate organization. And I was always very aware that I was representing a larger corporate organization. I didn't want to embarrass them. Or in the case of Fox with Roger Ailes, I knew that he had a certain worldview that I was supposed to be reflecting or I'd get in trouble. So there was always that tension. And now, if I have some question about Donald Trump, I can ask it of my guest and I don't have to phrase it a perfect way. I don't have to make sure that it's legally sound and say, whatever I want. I just did a Sanity podcast where I talked about the FBI director, Kash Patel, and I really thought that his press conference showed how ill-equipped he is to be the director of the FBI. He didn't know basic fundamental things about how long a manhunt usually lasts, how talented the law enforcement and FBI, the FBI agents are with how quickly they often find their suspects. He didn't seem to have a handle on that. And so I can say that now. I can call that stuff out. And I think that this moment really demands that. So I'm very happy to have that level of freedom with Sanity.
These full interviews are coming up on Unknown to Known starting next week. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel or your podcasting platform of choice so you get notified. And look me up on Instagram at Jamie_Maglietta, or for clips from the show, you can go to at get_OnCamReady and follow along. Let me know where you are in your journey from unknown to known in your own niche. This is a hard road, but with the new media space being so exciting, with so much promise, it's kind of hard not to get our feet wet and test it out. So I'm going to keep on going, even though I have felt deflated lately. Thanks to this award, I will continue. And if you have ideas for the show, please pitch us at hello@oncamready.com. And remember to check out my boot camp for that free download. I'll see you guys next week.